Yo, it's your boy Rush. I'm in the building with J.I. Wisdom. He's in the building. Yo, J.I., let the people know who you are. Give them the MO. You're
Yo, what's up,
He's in the
everybody?
building. Yo, J.
I'm sorry, I had this the thing playing, man. Hey, shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you having me on. If y'all don't know who it is your favorite everything JR Wisdom. Listen, man, I'm just a content creator, man. I've been on YouTube for a few years. You know, my life's like a movie, so I try to implement a lot of the topics that you see relationship wise, self help, and things like that. So I give a lot of commentary on videos as well as getting into skits and things like that, and basically just putting like a humorous twist to certain things. So that's kind of like what I'm about. That's kind of like what you're going to get from JR Wisdom. And I mean, that's it in a nutshell, bro. I just try to keep it simple with that, man.
Word up. My first question for you is what led you to start up a YouTube channel and moving this content on a professional level?
Well, it's a funny situation. I talk about this, and like I finally had did a video. I think it was like last year where somebody asked me, and you know how you have it pinned up on your main page, on your community page, and when somebody first goes to your page, there's like a highlighted video. So I said I might as well do it. So basically, what happened was I was going through a divorce, and I was learning all this stuff that was going on that I never knew. And this was like I was about 30, 31 years old or whatever, right? And I was in another relationship, and the woman I was with at the time, she was like, "Yo, you got some very strong opinions on some stuff, that some shit I ain't never heard of." You know what I'm saying? So she's like, "You need to get on YouTube. You just need to start talking about this stuff or whatever." So I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna do that," because I just went through a divorce. I was a single father, just getting back out in these streets, dating and things like that. So I started talking about. I didn't know what I was doing. I just got on YouTube. I just started doing videos, knocking them out back to back, and then like people started watching them. Shout out to O'Shea, who's my mentor, who you probably know. O'Shea put me on. I was a nobody. I think O'Shea at the time had like 17,000 subscribers, and I hit him up because I came across a video of his. He brought me on. He interviewed me based off my situation, and it was kind of like from there, I got up to like just organically without doing any reaction, just off my content, like 7,000 subscribers, and I just fell out of love with it, because I was like, I'm not moving. I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm not moving. So I was like, man, I'm focusing my attention on other things as an entrepreneur. And obviously with the when Kevin Samuels blew up, because I knew Kevin Samuels back when he was used to be on O'Shea's channel and things like that, before he was big or whatever, when he first came on YouTube. And I saw that he was like uh basically rising up, and people were giving commentary on a lot of his stuff, and I saw people, they was eating off it. I was like, man, they just giving commentary. People and other people were doing reaction videos. I was like, man, I can do that, man. I can give commentary based off real life instead of just saying, oh, this is crazy, wow, click, and just go on. So that's basically my story in terms of YouTube. So once I noticed, I start gathering more of a base of my own that I already had. I started taking the money that I was making and reinvesting it into the quality, of the production, for lack of a better term, which is some people don't want to do that, which, I learned a lot of the stuff, like I said, from my mentor, O'Shea, in terms of, reinvesting it in equipment, a room to film, cameras, microphones, a setup, the kind of look, it doesn't have to, I'm not saying it has to look professional, but just have something that is aesthetically pleasing, as well as like audio, because audio can destroy something as well. So I know I'm getting a little bit further in your question, but that's basically because you mentioned something about professional production or something like that. You had asked me, so that's kind of like how I came about to where I'm currently at right now. To answer your question, hopefully that answered it.
Oh man, you definitely answered the question perfectly, man. Um, my next question for you is I know you went through a divorce, man. So what are the things that could you teach someone to deal with a nasty divorce? Like, give them a breakdown on what was the process you went through to, I guess, bounce back? Because dealing with divorce, man, it's not an easy thing. I mean,
Nah,
I know it's a tough, situation.
yeah. So once again, like I said, my life's like a movie. You know what I mean? And I'm not I guess we plugging stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'll go ahead and plug it since you got me on here, and I'm gonna go into it. This is a book I wrote called Puppeteering with Heartstrings. Right? It's a quick read, and I basically talk about the first year of being separated from my ex-wife, and it took a total of 2 years. Not for me because I filed for divorce. She didn't. So just to give you a quick synopsis, and to give some pointers to people that may be listening, um, I was in a we got married when I got married when I was 19. Me and her around the same age, right? So we got married really young, obviously, and I didn't know what I was doing. She didn't know what she was doing. So we had kids, and basically grew up together. So basically, once you grow up with somebody, your identity is kind of tied to that person because that's all you know growing up. So she got to a point where she had certain influences when I wasn't around because I was contracting in Afghanistan for 2 years at one point. So she had certain influences that basically awakened certain things within her in terms of I need to be doing this with my life instead of raising kids and being a mother. So that was her path, and that's what she wanted to do, and that's what she told me. She said she needed to discover herself. She didn't want to be a mother anymore. She didn't want to be a wife. She just wanted to go out there and do her thing. And she left. She left the household and left me with the kids to take care of. Just like that. And when I filed for divorce, like I said, my situation is a lot different than other people. When I filed for divorce, she made it as difficult as possible, even though she was out in the streets dealing with other men, doing her own thing, not taking care of the kids at all. She made it as difficult. She wouldn't sign paperwork. She wouldn't talk to my attorney. She wouldn't do anything. She would duck and dodge process servers when they would try to serve her with paperwork. So she just made it completely difficult when that's what she wanted. So all she had to do was just sign the paper. People think that a divorce is like that. You can just get a divorce. If somebody doesn't want to divorce you, they don't have to divorce you. And I don't think people understand that. Somebody can literally say, and they can't make you divorce that person. You would have to go to trial, right? And people know you don't think of a trial in family court, but if someone just says no, 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 I can test, no, 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 you go through mediation, still say no, no, no. You actually have to go to trial, and we know how much trials cost, on top of an attorney. So a woman, and I'm gonna say women, you got some men who are feminine on that type of stuff too.
Look, break down the costs on dealing with something like that, because most dudes think that when they get married, man, it's like it's peaches and cream, even when getting that divorce too. So, what was the expenses that you spent on lawyers and dealing with different, going through that whole trial process?
Oh, I didn't go through a trial. So basically, like mine is in the grand scheme of things, when I hear about other men, what they went through, the money I spent was unnecessary because she could have just signed the paperwork. This is someone that left me that said she didn't want to be with me and wanted to get a divorce. But when I filed for it, she made everything difficult just because women, and I'll say this, women will do things that's not in their best interests to prevent you from, even though they may be, a woman can be with a whole nother man, she can be in a whole nother relationship, she can be married, but for some reason she wouldn't want to see you progress or whatever. So the cost, like I actually had 3 different attorneys, you know, that I had to get, what I'm saying. So total, it was I spent about 14 grand. And like I said, this is for somebody that didn't want that I had to file for divorce and she just wouldn't sign. That's because attorney's fees, serving, paperwork, all this other stuff, time in court,
That
all this
must
stuff.
be like real frustrating, man.
That's
Spending all that money just to, just to hurry up so you could part ways with an unhealthy, unhappy individual.
right.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah.
She should have just signed them papers, man,
Yeah.
and not be petty like that.
Just imagine if a man had did that. I always tell people, imagine if the roles were reversed and I did that, right? The court system, the family court is designed to benefit the woman. I mean, the laws are done.
Yo. Say that one more time.
Yeah, the
Yo.
family court system is designed to benefit the woman. The laws are designed to benefit the woman. They know the woman is an emotional creature, and an attorney can invoke certain emotions. A family court attorney can invoke certain emotions within a woman, even though she may be, cooperative before, and it may be amicable. It's their job to frustrate the situation and drag it out because it's not beneficial to have a quick divorce. You know what I mean? So, and not to say that there aren't men, because there are some cornballs out there that if somebody doesn't want to be with you, I mean, and my sister actually told me that. She was like, "Yo, if somebody doesn't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you." And I think that's the hardest thing for some men to understand. And when I came, I'm glad it happened to me, even though it didn't happen when I was younger. But I'm glad it happened to me because that took away that fear of being alone or rejection or somebody, ever doing that again. Because right now I don't care about none of that. Like, you can't scare me, you can't do anything to me right now, because I've already been through all that. So that's pretty much set me free, you know what I mean, in terms of that. So yeah, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the marriage thing, especially when people can leverage it and just weaponize the system. And as women know that it's in their favor. Women know that the judicial system for the most part is in their favor now, and there's a reason for that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Cause I have a cousin that went through a process right now of getting divorced, and his wife is not even from the states,
Mm,
and the government's paying for her attorneys and all that for her to take him to trial to get I guess full custody for their kid,
mhm.
and that's just I just find that crazy, like someone, you know, but I don't want to stick to this subject matter
Yeah, no,
because
it's
it's just
cool.
gonna go
Yeah,
left. But yeah, it's crazy out here, man. That system needs to be fixed. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And I want to say one more thing. I think we got to start putting these judges on full blast, man, because a lot of times they're the ones who's making those messed up decisions, man. You know what I mean? But my next question for you is right. Um, what's your thoughts on Tory Lane's situation with the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing, man? Do you think it's a bogus situation, or you really believe that he discharged that firearm?
Um, Once again, I think everybody who's real and can be unbiased about the situation knows that that's a miscarriage of justice. And anytime someone pleading the fifth equals reasonable doubt, right? In this case, Kelsey, the girl, she said something about it to incriminate myself. I plead the fifth, which basically is telling you I had something to do with this and I'm seeking immunity because of the situation. The eyewitness, all this stuff is crazy. Just imagine if it was you, or imagine if it was any other celebrity, maybe if the skin color was different, maybe. But imagine if it was anyone else and you putting yourself in your shoes going through a trial where there's so many conflicting stories with the witnesses. They all have a different story. There's no fingerprints or DNA on the weapon for the man that was shooting it, and they never tested the other person because obviously he's on trial. They never tested the other person. The eyewitness said they saw a woman discharge the firearm first, and then the little guy shooting, waving the gun in the air, shooting it. So it's just so much stuff. So how can you convict somebody based off of that amount of reasonable doubt,
Yeah, and
including a woman pleading the fifth? Pleading the fifth means, I'm
right,
not going to say something because I did
you
something.
don't want to incriminate
I don't
yourself.
want
You
to
know what I mean?
incriminate which is what she
Yeah,
said. So what is that telling you? Like, so, and she got gunpowder residue on her. Nobody else in the vehicle, I guess, had gunpowder residue on them. Did they test them? It's a lot of shit that wasn't tested. Why wasn't the bodyguards or security, the driver? Why did none of them testify? You know what I'm saying? It's just so much foolishness going on. So I think that that was the ultimate like slap in the face, and that was a politically correct thing, definitely in the climate that we have now with women and assault. I think that they had to convict him because it would have looked really bad if he would have been not guilty. And it's the same thing with the R word. You know what I mean? The R8 word or whatever, right? You can say something, but nothing happens to you when it's false. A man has to go through this entire this entire witch trial or whatever, and be ostracized and lose income and lose his job and all this stuff like that. And then the woman just gets to walk away. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, I
it's
think it's crazy because it's like, you know, there's too many holes in the story,
too many.
and like Megan to making an accusation saying that Toy shot in the we get twerking. You know how long, what kind of rehab you got to go through to learn how to walk again after you get shot in the foot. Like when I heard that story, I knew it was bogus. When I heard that, like what?
She didn't even
And what?
see she in trial when she testified. She said she didn't see Kelsey. She didn't see Kelsey. She said they
Right.
didn't fight. Other people say they were fighting. It's just
Too
too much.
many.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's too much,
I
man.
could not. That's why I think it's more to it. Like when they talk to when they brief the jury, when they deliberate, I think there's too much where they say, well, you're gonna do this or this is gonna happen or blah blah blah. There's no way that any sane person can convict him based upon what was presented, especially with a woman saying and an eyewitness saying he saw a woman shoot the gun.
Right.
So it's just ridiculous. But anyway, man, yeah,
And they keep changing their stories too, man. And because first they said they saw her use the firearm, and then now they're saying it was Tory, man. I think that's just
well, he said he saw both of them. The eyewitness said he said the first the discharge, the fire from the firearm came from the woman discharging it near the vehicle. And then the little guy, they said the smaller man got up on top and shot up in the air 5 times. This is what an eyewitness says. So how the hell are you gonna convict him? I don't, like I said, this is
right.
the appeal, whatever. If they shouldn't deny his appeal in this because this was ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's beyond crazy to me. You know,
I think it's crazy too, man. And like I it's scary to me because it's like, yo, what if I get to a jam? Like, yo, is
yep,
this the kind of treatment I'm getting
yep,
in the court
yep,
system? Like now I'm like even more paranoid, man.
yeah.
Like certain locations I'm not gonna drive to, certain people I'm not just not gonna talk to because I want to avoid from dealing with the court system. Cause yo, the judge he ain't gonna hesitate to throw the book at you,
Nah,
especially if you're a black man. I mean,
those people are demonic, man. In my opinion, like judges, I know it's a hard job, and how they sleep at night on a lot of the shit. I mean, they don't come up with the verdicts unless you want a judge only trial, which you do have the option to choose the judge only as opposed to a jury, right? But the shit like the family court judge, and I go back to family court, they have unlimited authority. So they can override state law and family court law and make their own decisions. They can completely go against what's written in the books and all of that. They have
yeah,
unlimited latitude when it comes to law. And a lot of people don't know that. In the court system, the family court judge is all powerful. They can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can, do certain things. So it's crazy. And judges, like I said, the judge is just there to mediate and pass down a sentence. That's all a judge is there for.
right.
Judge can't convict
But
you.
but that's why I'm saying like we got to start putting these judges on full blast because yo these judges get voted in. Now I
Yeah,
mean, like if there's a movement putting these guys on like pulling their face card, right?
yeah,
Like they ain't gonna have no choice but to do the right thing. Now I
right.
mean, And
This is the jury's fault, but the judge. Now everything with him being remanded and having to bond out all these different times. Yeah, but this is the jury that convicted him. The judge didn't convict him. The judge is going to hand out the sentence on the 27th of next month, as you already know. But the judge had nothing to do other than the thing that people don't know, man. And I don't want to spend too much time on this. Is that they all talk to each other. The
right,
prosecutor talk behind their chambers and closed chambers, even the
yeah,
family court. They
hmm
go and they talk to the judge and they all converse in the background. They talk about what's actually going on. Hey, this is what happened. It's just a this lawyer is fighting this lawyer to try and prove it to the jury. But everybody, they all behind the scenes, they all emailing each other, they're all calling each other, which they're not supposed to do that. I forgot what it's called. It's some Latin term where the attorney and prosecutor is not supposed to converse with the judge in reference to a case, but they do that shit all the time. So it's a wicked system, bro. Just like his dad, when his dad came up, when his dad yelled out and said "wicked," it's a wicked system, man.
yeah, most definitely.
Don't ever if you can stay away from it, stay away from it, man.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things, man. Like, and this is going to get transitioned to my next question. Is like, yo, what would you tell the nice guy on how to stay sucker free from all this craziness? You know, from dealing with a chick, from her to putting you in the court system, and now you battling for your freedom.
Mm. Bro, you gotta in terms of a woman and dealing with stuff like that, it's only way to really do that, man. And I hate to say it, is you have to know a chick for the day to see who you rocking with. Because I mean, anything could happen. Because you like with any encounter, but you have to keep some type of. So you see something going left, man, pull out that phone. You know what I'm saying? Pull out that phone and try to get as much footage as you can of the situation, or remove yourself before if you see a woman, you know, that's argumentative or whatever, or find out who it is that you're dealing with, man. I don't encourage any man. No man should be arguing with a woman.
Right,
You know,
because things can go left real
yeah,
quick.
don't argue with a woman. You beat a woman with your mind. You know what I'm saying? And by removing your presence. That's the only way you beat a woman is with your mind and removing your presence. You don't ever stick around, argue with a woman and things like that. You just depart, man. And a lot of fellas be trying to prove stuff, be getting emotional. You see all the stuff going on the news where dudes is like a woman ain't answering, responding to a text message, or he think that because he slept with her once, that's his lady and you know all this stuff like that, and dudes just need to be more in control of their emotions and understand that these women don't belong to you. Even if she's your wife, she don't belong to you. You know what I'm saying? She could change up on
Right,
you. She could
she's
change
just
up on you. You got countless
a
men that's in family
being that could
court.
make different moves.
Huh?
No, no, I was saying like, yo, a female, she's a sentient being. Like, she's gonna make
Right,
decisions and gonna want to do certain things on her own. So yeah, like you're totally correct on what you're saying, man.
right,
You know what I mean?
right. What else? Did something happen? I don't know. I thought I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Like, I guess my internet's kind of like bugging, but yeah, man, I totally agree with you on that, man. They're definitely, you know, like when you got a chick, she's not your personal slave. She's gonna want to do things, and if she, you know what I mean, if she's for the streets, man, yo, charge it to the game, move on to the next, man. My psycho simps, because I call them psycho simps, when they catch their girl sleeping with another dope, you know what I mean? Like they go ham and take it to the next level.
Right.
Like, don't do that. Charge it to the game,
Yep.
move on to the next, man.
Yep.
Because when you get locked out for bodying it,
For stupid, yeah, for stupid shit. Yeah,
you know
I
what I
don't.
mean? She's
Yeah.
sleeping with the next man. You know what I mean? She ain't
That's why I always
understand
say.
about it, you know what I
I
mean?
always tell when I talk to women, I always say like, I don't want to. I'm on that Mario Winans. I don't want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't care. That's your business. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to put myself in women's business when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that, you know, if I'm in a relationship with a woman, yeah, but I'm not about to be like doing no detective work. If it does come across my desk, you know, I'm gonna act accordingly, and that's gonna be that. But that's what I've learned in life, man. In terms of men, um, a marriage, marrying a woman is so sacred for a man to do that instead of dudes just handing it out like candy. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right,
to marry a
right,
woman, not, you gotta earn it. And I think a lot of times women aren't earning these things, and dudes are just giving these things away. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It's you have to prove yourself to me, man. You have to prove yourself. You know, that's just me personally. And I feel like men who are of value and feel that they are of value should feel the same way. You know what I mean? So
right.
yeah.
My next question is how important you think it is to have self improvement. How vital is that for a man to work on himself?
I think that's your purpose on earth, man. Whether it's self help or seeking help or paying for help, paying for coaching. Not that I'm selling anything, but paying for coaching or there's a quote that I always say, and I'm pretty sure it's biblical in origin from sheesh, man. What was David's son's name? I was about to say
King Solomon.
Solomon, King Solomon. King Solomon, I believe is quoted as him saying, "He who hates knowledge loves death," which basically, in my interpretation,
Yeah, that's a
is
fact. Yeah,
yeah, how I interpret it is, or a few ways. If you just an ignorant dude and you're not trying to learn nothing, you don't need to be here. You know what I mean? Or those who are just about death and want to cause death and destruction are not those that are of knowledge. You know what I mean? Those are the wicked that walk this earth. So a man should be, until the day he dies, should be in constant pursuit of knowledge and development and increasing his consciousness, while he's here, instead of just being like doped up, smoked out, drunk, wasted. And you see people, and I think about this all the time. Every time I see somebody that's like wasted or like high out of their mind, I'm just like, where are you at in reality? You know what I mean? Like, what is it that has brought you to this point? And what is life like for you? And what are you learning by doing this? You know what I mean? Like, there's so much information that I feel like, as much as I've done in this world, as many places as I've been, the more you learn, man, the smaller you feel. Even though I know I'm, as far as conscious goes, I'm one of the big dogs, you know what I mean, in my opinion. But I feel so like, because this world is so mysterious and so huge, why wouldn't I want to learn about, first of all, myself, especially as a black man? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you want to learn about yourself, or any man for that matter, but definitely a black man in America, if you're a foundational black American, not from immigrating from the islands or from Africa, you know, um, that's something that I think is very important for you to know yourself and know about other things and be cultured, be aware, be able to talk and communicate with people in any room, win friends and influence people, things like that, which I'm just getting a hold of this stuff later in life. But, the older you get, the sharper you get in certain ways, man. You got to keep your health up. You know, that mind needs to be constantly consuming information. And that's how you stay sharp, man. A lot of people just submit to getting drunk every day and fucked up and eating bad food. And, there's like, this is it for me. You know what I mean? So I think that it is a man's purpose to consume as much literature in the realm of self-help, or just in the realm of anything in general that he's passionate about. So that's my thoughts on it. I think it's a must. Yeah.
that's definitely a gem you just dropped there, man. The youth could definitely use that and implement that into their lifestyle, man. Oh, yo, dope, dope. My next question is for you is what's your thoughts on the black pill community, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you think they kind of going overboard with it, or they rightly they're rightly just to feel the way that they feel?
To be honest with you, man, I don't know what black pill is. I don't know any other pill other than the red pill and blue pill. There's only a red pill and blue pill. All right. Because we making up all this other stuff, but there's only a red pill and a blue pill. I wonder how many of the red pill bros actually seen the Matrix or actually understand the Matrix. Because you did, if you did, you would be on a level of spiritual consciousness instead of the foolishness. So that's why I'm like, I don't believe in any of this other stuff that they make up. So, I'm serious. I don't even know what the black pill is. I heard of the purple pill. I think is a mixture, obviously, of both. But what is the black pill?
Well, the black pill is like they're on 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 like statistics on whether if they should deal with a chick or not. Like they're like, for example, right? Like they feel like if they're not a Chad, they shouldn't they shouldn't go out and try to approach bagging the next female. Now I mean, because they're not a Chad. Like that's my watered
What do
down
you mean? What do
synopsis
you
on
mean
them.
by Chad? What do you mean by Chad?
If they, they're not aesthetically pleasing for the female, financially and all that, like they shouldn't waste their time politicking with a chick because they feel like majority of females gonna seek the top 10%.
So
So
a Chad.
why go?
So just so I understand, so a Chad is a good looking guy. Okay, because I always thought a Chad was just a white dude. You know what I'm saying? My
Well,
bad.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
this the lingo that they use.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Pookie, Ray Rays,
Yeah.
the
So Chad.
Chads,
So Chad
and
is
Lees and all that.
so,
Yeah,
so Chad is the select. Or not to say that Pookie and
yeah,
Ray
yeah.
Ray is not select.
They're the natural selects. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So they're saying if they're not a natural select, what's the purpose of even trying to, I mean, engage yourself into having a girlfriend or getting into a marriage?
I think that's incel mentality. Um, I think that you shouldn't tell men to not approach women. There's a video, I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow, man, about this dude that he's an incel and MGTOW went through all that. He hated women so much that he turned gay. You know what I'm saying? And there's a video, I'm gonna cover that. And I think this is a real thing because if you hate, it's kind of like you hate women that much that basically you just want to deal with men. Or you're bombarded with all this information that kind of reaffirms your lack of, because you won't do the work on yourself a lot of times. Now we get it, some men are unattractive, right? Or maybe perceived as unattractive, right? But at the end of the day, what makes us more attractive as men, in your estimation? What makes you more attractive as a man?
Um, you got to factor in different things,
Just
like
in general, right now, if somebody
the
came up to
most
you for,
common thing is like having that bread.
okay, having that bread, outside of that bread, let's say she don't know you have bread.
Well, your mouthpiece got to be on point.
Okay, what
You know what
else?
I mean? And you got to have masculine frame, man. Your aesthetics got to be on point. You can't be looking sloppy and sick. You know what I mean?
Does
Like
it
you
cost
gotta,
does it cost thousands of dollars to do that?
nah, not at all.
So it's the simple things with women. A lot of times you do have women that just want money, but you do have men who have magnetic personalities, right? That women just want to be around. And they're not the most handsome dudes. You can look at the most beautiful women. A lot of times they're not with handsome dudes. And a lot of times these men are not rich. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But these dudes may conduct themselves in a certain way, have a masculine frame. They know how to talk to a woman, and not to say you have to be a study guide, you have to study all these things on game, but you just be yourself, man. Be yourself. If you're a person that knows about certain things, and I think the more you learn about it and the fear goes away of talking to a woman, you look at it as just it's an experience. It's a win if she turns you down. You know what I'm saying? Why not shoot your shot? You never know. Like it was told to me once upon a time, that woman that you don't shoot your shot at is probably the one that's gonna give you a chance. You know what I'm saying? She's probably the one that's gonna talk to you. So why would you discourage men based off of, for another man to tell him, okay, so I can tell a man if he's, you look dusty, dude. You know what I'm saying? You look dusty. You know your face. They could say the same thing about my facial hair or whatever, but everything's just whack. Your hair's not cut. You're wrinkled. Everything's dirty. Things like that. You got to get all that stuff you said. You got to get that stuff in order first. You want to be the best version of yourself, and how you dress, man, is how you feel about yourself. At the end of the day, you notice if you dress, women are attracted to men. You got two types of women: but even both types of women are attracted to this. There's a reason Kevin, rest in peace, dress that way. If you dress similar to that, even with slacks, a button down or a shirt, and just some hard bottoms or whatever you want to call it, and you walk out, you'll be viewed differently as well too. And women are I notice women are attracted to that when you dress that way. Instead, you can dress, street or dress down and things like that, but all that stuff has a lot to do with how women perceive you and how serious they're going to take you. Conversation is a lot more serious when she sees you that way as opposed to you, on a humbug out one day. So I would never tell a man do not approach a woman unless you just, like I said, unless you funky, you're not dressed properly, you just dusty, teeth is all in disarray. You know what I'm saying? Work on yourself to that point where you're presentable when you look in the mirror, and you can't say she's gonna think I'm ugly, because women don't care about looks. I don't care what they say. Women do not care about looks. I'm talking about, when I say looks, I mean a certain aesthetic. Women do not care about that. Women care about how you treat them. Your energy, the vibe that she has with you. Women don't care about looks, bro. And this comes from a handsome man like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. So,
Word out. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I mean, um, but there's certain types of women look for a certain type of aesthetic. You know what I mean? Some chicks, they like the height. You know what I mean? Some chicks, they like the dude that's athletically on point. You know what I mean? But majority of females don't really look at it like that, man. It's just how they vibe with you, and how your mouthpiece work, man. You know what I mean? Once you got that mouthpiece, man, you got that mind control. You know what I mean?
yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree.
Word out. Yo, my next question is, right? I the video you put out called the Retired 304, right?
Yeah.
Let the people know how important it is not to have a high body count, man. Because Shorty in that vid, man, she was kind of wilding. You're
Yeah. So I got mixed feelings on this, but I can see, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna ask a woman her body count. I think any real dude who's good with women, now I'm just being honest, dudes don't like when I say this. Any dude that's good with women doesn't ask a woman her body count. You know what I mean? It's about how a woman treats me at the end of the day. Now, I'm not saying, so here's the thing. If you can't make a woman want you, and like in that video in particular, she said some things like, and she basically explained it without, and she probably didn't even notice it when she was explaining it. She was like, I was very promiscuous in my youth, and I got with my husband, and I didn't like having sex, and she blamed it on Jesus, right? Said Jesus took away her feeling for it. Why would Jesus give you a husband but not give you the desire for your husband? So,
make no sense.
yeah. So she got a husband. She probably married him, but she probably just wasn't. And women do this for security. Women will marry for security, but sexually they're not into you. You don't do it for them in terms of that. So hearing her talk, that's what it sounded like to me. And that could be just because she's been with all these dudes. There could be another dude that turns her on. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't her husband. So yeah, she has a lot to compare it to, right? You know what I'm saying? But me personally, because I never really asked, but I know I've never been with a virgin, but I know women have been with other men, and I've never had an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? That whole pair bonding thing, which I do believe is real to a certain extent. But if a woman is into you,
Yeah. Yo, let me interject real quick, man. Like, yo, that pair bonding thing is a serious thing, man. And
yeah,
like, yo, if a chick, one, like, yo, if you've been around, you can tell if a shorty is a jump off or not. You know what I mean? And
that's what I've been
like
saying.
only niggas that be on some sucker shit will ask a question like that.
Yeah,
But I mean, ain't nothing wrong asking. Know what I mean, but personally, I
yeah.
I
If you
wouldn't
good
do it
with
because
women,
I already know.
and
know?
that's why I say a lot of these dudes, and a lot of these podcasters that they become popular and big on YouTube because what they say, it doesn't make you, it makes you think a certain way when you don't talk to women like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, any woman who's confident in herself, she's not gonna carry on a conversation with you asking some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Was like, how would that even, I always tell people, how would you even frame that? Asking her, like, how many, hey, so I just need to know how many dudes you've been with. Cause I need to know, per YouTube guidelines, you're not supposed to be over 3 men.
That shit don't even roll out the tongue
Yeah,
right, man.
it doesn't. And a woman who's really serious, she's gonna look, unless she has low self esteem. A woman that's really serious, like, is this dude serious right now? How many men have I been with? You know what I mean? So I don't find that to be, because one, you'll never know, and two, is she into me? You know what I'm saying? Is she into me? If she's not into me, I don't want to be with her. I can't get aroused being with a woman that's not into me. I will quickly pull up my pants and depart. I'm not about to go through any
Yeah, I feed
demonstration.
off that energy too.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'm the
can't.
same way. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't. My the little man will not get up. You know what I'm saying? I have to get out of there. So that will be a major factor. And if this is my wife and she just does that all of a sudden, I mean, it's gonna be an issue. So that's why I say I have mixed feelings about it. A lot of dudes disagree with me. That's why I don't consider myself red pill. I no longer consider myself a part of the manosphere, for lack of a better term. I'm just a dude out here that has his own opinion on stuff that doesn't align with a lot of the thought processes and ideologies of a lot of men. I talk about what I know, what I've experienced, and what I've learned from women. And even though my videos point out like a lot of the bullshit, because women do a lot of bullshit. I'm not taking that. I don't put women in a place. Women do a lot of bullshit. Women get away with a lot. Women do things, and it's self-victimization at the end of the day. They want people to feel sorry for them based off their fuckery. Pardon my Spanish. But yeah, man, I think I'm in my own lane. That's why maybe I'm not where I could be at, for lack of a better term. If I did get on some, like, yeah, 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 da, 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 and all this shit, like, but I'm just telling you from a man's perspective, from a man who's had several conversations with women over time, for a man who has daughters, for a man who has kids, for a man who's been married. I'm not about to sit up here and lie to dudes and say you need to do this and you need to do that, and you try to find this mythical unicorn, so on and so forth. I mean, and I'm not telling you to settle, but yo, that body count stuff, bro, if you worry yourself about that based off what a man is telling you on YouTube, do your thing. You'll never know anyway. There's no detector you can slide on a woman that's going to tell you how many women she's been with, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, facts. Yo, my next question to you is, yo, what are your thoughts about Master P dealing with his son Romeo and they having a feud between like money being spent? What's your thoughts on that, man? Talk to me.
yeah, as you know, I've covered that as well. Um, like I said, he said some stuff. I mean, if he's telling the truth, I think, and I'm talking about Romeo. If he's telling the truth about they're broke in real life and all this stuff like that, and he's not receiving a check and all these things, it is what it is. But I think I believe in nepotism. I don't know how you feel about nepotism, but I believe in nepotism. People get upset about it, but you're supposed to put your people in a better place in life. You're supposed to put your people on. If you got a son, you're supposed to put him on. If you got a daughter, you're supposed to put him on. You know what I'm saying? So I have no issue with that. Romeo, we've known him since he was a child, rapper or whatever, actor. Yeah, he was, acting. I forgot. I think he was on Nickelodeon or something. I can't remember. Dude played basketball.
Yeah,
Dude,
he made a couple bucks off that Nickelodeon show he
yeah,
had, man. So his
yeah.
father been putting them on.
Been putting them on. You out there. you can use your father's connections in Hollywood. You can you meeting all these other different people, so you have the opportunity that the average person, like me, I would love to be in the acting. I don't know nobody. I can't call a Master P or a Dame Dash or any mogul and be like, yo, can you put me in the room with this person or whatever? It's different. And I think when we have certain things in life, including myself, we overlook it and we place blame on certain things, or why this, why that. But like his father said, you've been winning for a long time. He told him on his when he was get on the video, you've been winning for a while, man. I can only, if you listen to me, you can do what I did. But I think kids tend to resent their parents, or try to find a way to resent their parents when things don't go right. As far as that rap snacks and his check and all that stuff, who knows? That's their family business. But to put it out there in the front, that's that wasn't necessary, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. My thoughts on Romeo. I think he should have just spoke to his father behind the like behind the scenes, instead of posting everything on social media like that. I mean,
Facts. Facts.
he should have, cause think about it, right? Like he's accusing his father of taking his money that he made off music to pay off his father debt. Like his father's debt is like 200 mil, some change. But
Mm,
yo, he didn't make that. He didn't. Romeo's net worth is about 5 million. He didn't even make the amount of debt that his father accumulated or whatever. You know what I mean? I think he
mm.
should have spoke to his father behind the scenes and hash it out with him, man, not to put it in front street like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
Now, my next question to you is: do you think that women cheat 1,000 times more than men? Talk to me. Let's expound on this.
That's a good question, bro. I think in order for a man to cheat, unless he's a homosexual, he's cheating with a woman, and 9 times out of 10, she's not single, for lack of a better term. But we gotta, if we talking about what's considered a single, is single a non-married woman? Definitely, I believe women cheat. I wouldn't say 1,000 times more, but I think it's almost equal in terms of that when it comes to relationships. Also, when it comes to emotional cheating and things like that, most definitely, or other things. I always say, even with any woman, including your wife, and people don't like to hear it, they always want to argue. If you're looking for something, you'll find it. At the end of the day, I don't put anything past any woman. So like I said, if it comes across my desk, it's a different story. So do they cheat? I think it's about even in terms of cheating with women. You know.
Word up. I could feel you on that, but
Yeah.
my personal opinion, I think they cheat a lot more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts on that. But yo, my next thoughts on this, right? My next question for you would be: do you think um, social media helps women to exercise hypergamy on steroids? And if you do, give us the breakdown.
So social media, like when we all know, like women can, when a woman can walk out the house, just in general, she can walk out the house and have hard dick within minutes if she wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Just by walking out the house. You going on social media, like there was an experiment, like I think those guys, the F&F gang out of Miami, they did an experiment where they pretended to be a woman, and you see the inbox amount of men, the amount of tension that you get or whatever, and it creates a false sense of reality because there's an abundant amount of men, and it warps reality because you may have a bunch of rich men trying to talk to you, and you got local guys who may not have as much money or appear to not have as much money, and you're like, I got access to all these dudes, all these men are trying to do this, and some of them, actually, especially if you're a beautiful woman, all you got to do is get on Instagram or TikTok and just start posting photos of yourself, and you will have a suitor in no time. You'll have men trying to fly you out, trying to take you out, proposals, all this other shit, probably paying your car note. And that's all you have to do. It's just that easy. You don't even gotta go to OnlyFans. You just go on. IG and TikTok and just do that. So in terms of hypergamy, for sure, I think it creates, because it's so much. You just think about as a man, if you just had a ton of women just hitting you up, wanting to get with you, and things like that, you're gonna be like, why would I deal with this woman when I got this baddie right here, this baddie right here, this baddie right here? I got this baddie that's able to do this. So if you got this man that has a blue check, you got this man that's this corporate worker, you got an abundance of men who may be successful and non-successful men per social media, what they're showing. Why would you go with the brokest one? You know what I'm saying? So, or the one who's not of certain status. So for sure, it definitely, like, that's the beauty of being a woman now, for lack of a better term. They're able to have access to this amount of people, and they don't have to leave the comfort of their own bed. So that's my breakdown of it. That's how I see it. It's for sure that's a no brainer. You know.
Word, you broke that down so well. This will be my last question, and I mean, because I know you're a busy man, you got things to do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Derek Jackson's situation? Do you feel like if he were to like refine his image and start promoting the red pill community, do you think he'll still have a career in the YouTube game? Talk to me.
I think he would. I definitely think if Derek, even if Derek Jackson, if he switched up, I think they would still follow him. He would still have a decent following. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and he knows women like a pep rally. That's why churches are filled with women, not men. I had a man try to argue with me, I think earlier. He posted my comments. You're wrong about men not being in church. There are tons of men in church. And then, we get into the sexuality thing on that, which I didn't want to get into. He was like, there's tons of straight men in church. And I'm like, I hear you, man. You know what I'm saying? But churches are filled with women. Women love a pep rally. Women love a positive word. They love to hear these things that, even if it absolves them of their fuckery, they like to hear it. Even though deep down they know that this shit isn't for them. It's not this message isn't meant for them. They'll take it because it feels good. You know what I mean? So I think that's inherently how women surround themselves with people that make them feel better about themselves. And I don't mean that in terms of they should be surrounded by people that put them down, but they want to be surrounded by people who basically tell them that they don't do anything wrong. And that it's like that fairy tale princess complex when it comes to that. So Derek Jackson is that guy, and they don't care, even though he cheated on his wife, all this other stuff. Women don't, as long as he's providing that message. It's not about the messenger; it's the message. A lot of times, so I think that's how women look at even pastors. He's like a pastor. You know what I'm saying? A pastor can get 3 or 4 women pregnant in his parish or congregation. People still go come back. Eddie Longstroke, right? Eddie Long did all that stuff,
Ready go?
homo,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, homosexual acts and all this stuff with these boys, paid them off, and his congregation was still coming back to him. So it's just one of those things, man. Like, as long as you providing that service to a woman, then you're good. So I don't think, even if he switched, I still think that he would you know, people still want to tune in. People, even if they don't like you, people still tune in, man. You know what I mean? So I think even guys that claim red pill, they'll start listening to him just to see what he's got to say. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Man, thank you so much for coming through and blessing me with your presence on this panel. Yo, any last word for the people before you bounce?
Hey, no, I appreciate you for having me on, bro. This simple, straight to the point. You know what I mean? And just subscribe to the channel if you haven't, man. And make sure y'all subscribe, watch all the videos, man. And shout out to you, man, for like I say, keep doing your thing, man. Stay steady with it. and it's gonna keep growing. It's not gonna go down for sure.
Word out. I appreciate that, J.I. It's your boy Russ. This interview is officially over. Seek wisdom, practice humility, and remain sucker free. You heard? I'm
Right.
out. One.
Yes, sir.
And for her attorneys and all that, for her to take them to trial to get, I guess, full custody for their kid,
Yeah.
And that's just, I just find that crazy, like someone, you know, but yeah, I don't want to stick to this subject matter
Yeah, no,
because it's just
cool.
gonna go left. But yeah, it's crazy out here, man. That system needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to say one more thing. I think we got to start putting these judges on full blast, man, because a lot of times they're the ones who's making those messed up decisions, man. You know what I mean? But my next question for you is, right?
Hello?
What's your
Hello?
Tory Lane situation with the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing, man? Do you think it's a bogus situation?